Hello class, my name is Dr. Aisha Bonner-Kozan, and welcome to HBSE 2. Um, I just wanted to take a few minutes and introduce myself. So, let's see, I've been teaching at Howard now since I was in the doctoral program. I was a teaching assistant, and when I graduated, I took a short break, and I've been teaching ever since '08, '06. I cannot remember. At any rate, for a few years now. Um, I, as I said, graduated from Howard with my doctorate and my master's in social work. My doctorate is in gerontology and public policy. And I currently work and have worked since grad school for AARP, which, if you're not aware, is the largest 50-plus membership organization in the country. And I work in the research department on a number of issues. I do some work on transportation solutions. I'm working on a very cool health assessment with urban Indian elders that will be a nationwide study. Very excited about that. I also do work in the area of livable communities, and I'm also a consultant for some of our state offices. So I consult with them on the work that they're doing, and it can be across many different domains. So it's a cool job. It's very exciting. I get to do research that I love, and I also still get to contribute to making a difference in people's lives, which has always been very important to me. A little history. I actually started as a special education teacher. Liked it. Didn't necessarily like how the school systems worked. And so I decided I still wanted to help people, but wanted to have a different experience. So I started working with learning disabled adults who in residential group homes. And that was very cool. And then I moved to a facility that was, I was living in New York at the time, and at that time there was a gap in services. So when you aged out of children's services at 18, you could not apply for adult services until you were 21. So some enterprising person wrote a grant and to provide what they called transitional services for 18 to 21-year-olds. And it was great. I worked in a group home. It was amazing. I got tired of having terrible managers who had no experience or background, getting paid more to do the work that I was doing. So I decided I needed to go back to school and get my master's. Started in upstate New York, ended up transferring to Howard, and finishing here. And then instead of going into practice, as I had always thought, I ended up going right back to school for my doctorate. So one thing I would say is I encourage you to take opportunities that you have in graduate school, even if they're things that you aren't sure you're interested in. You never know where life is going to take you. At any rate, so when I started working in the doctoral program, I was lucky enough to get in on a grant that was happening at a senior housing project over by Catholic University. And even though I had no interest in working with elders, I did it and, of course, fell in love and got hooked up with AARP, and the rest is basically history. So, looking forward to a great semester. A little bit on the personal side. I am married. I have one son, one dog, one house, and I live in Northern Virginia, so I'm rarely on campus, but I'm super glad to be connected with Howard and the amazing students coming through the School of Social Work. So um, I will say the other thing I would like to mention, because I'm super passionate about it, is that I'm a climate advocate. And I'm part of indivisible group that focuses on the climate crisis here in Virginia, and I just think that work is so critical. Um, and I'm happy to discuss it more at length if anyone is interested and also has similar concerns. But I think it's important, and I think as social workers, we're often focused on policy. We're focused on the realities of the lives of our clients and the systems that we serve and uphold. And I really think what's happening with the climate is an issue that we're going to be seeing more of. Um, I've been reading a lot of reports on young people who are experiencing anxiety and depression about the climate crisis. And I think that's something we're going to be seeing more of in our clinical work, but something that we should be fighting for uh, in the policy arena and in our systems arenas. It's sort of a different issue than we've had before, but it's no less systemic and no less powerful because it truly is something that will affect us all. So that's it. Looking forward to reading or watching your introductions. Let's have a great semester.